TelecomTV, where ICT connects.
Hello, you're watching TelecomTV. I'm Martin Warwick, reporting from Northern California, from Silicon Valley, in fact. And I'm at the fourth ETSI meeting, which is the ISG, Industry Standardization Group, on NFV, Network Functions Virtualization. Now we've got that mouthful out of the way, I'll introduce my guest, who is Martin Taylor, who is the CTO with Metaswitch. Martin, good to see you again. Must be almost a fortnight since we were last chatting. That time it was in Germany. We're very much backstage here at the event, so there's a lot of noise from the presentations going on outside. We'll try and get through it and see what happens. What do you think has been achieved so far in the NFV ISG?
Well, this is an initiative that was kicked off by the service providers. This hasn't come from vendors, and that's a really important thing. What the service providers have succeeded in doing over the last year is mobilising a large number of vendors who have not traditionally provided networking equipment to those service providers. And they've created a framework that enable those vendors to come together, form partnerships, propose solutions, discuss how they're going to work together and how they're going to make this happen. And I think they've succeeded actually beyond their most optimistic expectations. The momentum has been building quite extraordinarily, and the number of people that are here today is a clear evidence of that.
Are there any particular themes being discussed?
It's refreshingly pragmatic. Okay, so we're not talking about writing new standards. We're talking about simply encouraging the industry to come up with solutions. There are certain definitions that are important. We need to define frameworks and terminology, so we have a common language for discussing all this. But the theme here is, let's make this happen. And let's not get wrapped around too much process. Let's just facilitate the industry to make this change, which the telcos view as tremendously important, and vendors like ourselves view as a great opportunity to just expand our footprint, if you like, in the service provider industry.
It must be a novelty to be in an event at a time when the industry is working together rather than pulling in several directions at once.
Well, I think we've seen the industry working together before. I mean, there have been big waves of standardization activity, but that's always been rather vendor-driven. I think this is qualitatively different, having the telcos do something, and they are trying to catalyse a pretty fundamental change in the industry here. They're saying we really want to build networks in a different way. And this is not an idea that vendors have brought to them. It's an idea that they have developed themselves. So they're trying to make this change happen, and there's plenty of vendors supporting that idea. And of course, we're very much among them.
NFV's come from nowhere to being top of the agenda in a mere 13 months. It's a year since the first NFV white paper, published in Germany, a week since the last and second NFV white paper, also published in Germany at the event there. How's things progressing beyond the hype? What's going on?
Well, there are certainly a lot of lab trials going on. There are proofs of concept being built. We're beginning to see some of the bigger network operators actually talk about making early vendor selections in this space. So, yes, I think that the thing is moving at a breathtaking speed.
Do you think that we could be in danger of, given that this is not being driven by vendors but is being driven by the service providers and network operators themselves, do you think we could be in danger of seeing the bigger vendors, the main players in the industry, going down their own particular roads and find it we're facing not necessarily competing standards but potential lock-in to a particular way of doing things in NFV?
There'll certainly be a number of different competing views. There seems to be some convergence on some key building blocks here. There appears to be, for example, a fairly common view that OpenStack as a cloud management system is likely to play a pretty strong part in NFV. But that's not to say that there won't be other approaches. I think what the telcos are really trying to do here is get vendors working together to build solutions, and the market will decide eventually who the winners are.
So basically then this time, Martin, the boot's on the other foot?
Well, I think it is to some degree, yes.
Martin Taylor, thanks very much.
Thank you.
TelecomTV, where ICT connects.